Vehicle at gunpoint.
Get back.
58, 12, you're not
Back up.
over.
Drop the knife now! Drop it.
He just walked in. He's just walked in. He's taking pictures of her.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of her skirt.
It's one of America's biggest companies, and with more than 4,000 locations, it's no surprise that Walmart has dealt with its share of in-store arrests. These situations can be terrifying for customers, employees, and the police themselves. We're breaking down 9 of the biggest takedowns at Walmart locations. Welcome to After Hours, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sam Goldberg. First, we're in the metro Atlanta area. It's June 9th, 2023. Police responded to reports of a man in the store touching women without their consent. The officers check in with the store security team and see the suspect do it right on camera.
He just did it again to these 2 females right here.
What's he doing?
Walking around grabbing their asses.
Yeah, he just grabbed their ass. There it is.
This dude here?
Yeah.
Yesterday he was in here and a little girl, probably 9, reported that he grabbed her butt. And then we were looking for him, but he got out before we could get to him. And then today...
he just walked in. He just walked in.
He's
taking pictures of her.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of her skirt.
Alright, yeah.
He's done.
Let's go.
When officers approach the suspect, later identified as Gary Moultrie, he decides to take off.
Move. It's coming outside. General merchandise. Move.
106 radio, DFS. Subject was seen going on foot.
10-4.
The chase then picks up in the garden center, where the man tries to tell another officer that he has a daughter who he needs to help. But then he decides to take off running again.
I've got him at the garden center. Stop! Stop! Stop!
My daughter is like right there, and she needs some help. Now.
Glasses, black shirt, camo pants, black shoes.
He's running back the other way.
All right, he's going back into Walmart. No! Stop!
My daughter needs some help, man. You're not listening.
10-4, he's running around the garden center. If I get someone else over here. Stop right there!
My daughter is in trouble.
An officer later tased Moultrie to get him to cooperate. As police tried to put handcuffs on him, Moultrie slammed his phone into the ground, possibly trying to hide evidence. Moultrie, who was a registered sex offender, was charged with sexual battery. His court case is currently pending. Next, we're in Lee County, Florida, where security video from a Walmart shows a man allegedly trying to abduct a child. On December 29, 2023, deputies responded to an attempted kidnapping. They learned a 64-year-old man grabbed a 4-year-old child's hand and tried to walk away with him. A family member then intervened and pulled the child back. The man had already left the store when deputies arrived, but they were able to identify him as Pablo Pentuelas Hernandez. Within an hour, they were at his home to confirm his identity and arrest him. Pentuelas Hernandez was initially charged with false imprisonment of a child 13 years old and under. But just this month, the prosecutor reduced the charge to a misdemeanor battery. He's due back in court February 14th. Next, we're heading to Hobbs, New Mexico, where a Walmart employee was shot in the parking lot while leaving for his lunch break. And it appears to have all been connected to a robbery gone wrong. It happened on May 18th, 2023. Officers found 24-year-old Jordan Ruiz on the ground with a gunshot wound. He had been working the overnight shift when the shooting happened around 2 a.m. Other employees were also in the parking lot when it had happened.
A Hispanic gentleman was standing right here, and my friend Jordan just walked up to his, went in front of him, and that guy kind of acted like he was looking at this car. That's why I was like, man, you're going to rob somebody. And then I told the other lady, I said, hey, I think that guy's going to rob.
Find out what happened.
We better keep an eye on him.
Ruiz, who was rushed to the hospital, unfortunately died. One of the employees told police he had tried to chase down the shooter's car.
The additional caller advised that when the vehicle took off, they followed it down to Camino del Real. It parked and then took off again.
I tried to chase them down, man. I got so far before they stopped, and they aimed at me, and I tried to take off the vehicle. So I heard, shots, and then I looked out, and then I seen him look over here concerned, and he ran, and then I just heard him say they shot. So as soon as he said that, I just chased the car.
The witness says he came back to the Walmart after the suspects pointed a gun at him. As crime scene technicians examined the scene, officers tried to figure out if this was connected to other cars being stolen.
Well, this is the third time we've had an incident in this parking lot with someone taking a vehicle at gunpoint.
After looking at surveillance footage from the Walmart store as well as nearby businesses, detectives were able to figure out the car involved. They put out a bolo, aka be on the lookout, and a deputy in neighboring Texas spotted the car. That led to a 111-mile high-speed chase that went through multiple counties. Deputies were finally able to stop the stolen vehicle. 18-year-old Zachary Baeza and 2 juveniles were then arrested. Detectives then interviewed all 3 suspects back in Hobbs, New Mexico.
And what I'm here to do is give you an opportunity to explain to me what took place. And the reason being is because Ray's putting it on you, and I don't think that's true.
Detectives then determined the juvenile male was the shooter and Baeza was the driver. A 16-year-old girl, believed to be the girlfriend of Baeza, is not facing charges.
But you're one of 2 things in this. You're a witness or you're a defendant. It's as plain and Jane as I can be about it, all right? You know how serious this is. This is a murder. This isn't just a stolen car. It's way bigger than that. But you already know that somebody died because of some actions taken by these guys.
Baeza was charged in New Mexico with first-degree murder, attempted armed robbery, larceny, and possession of stolen vehicles. He's also charged in Texas for the high-speed chase. He'll be back in a New Mexico courtroom at the end of February. Now we head to Cleveland, Ohio, where police body camera video shows officers chasing 2 people inside of a Walmart, tackling one to the ground and holding another at gunpoint. This happened on August 13th, 2023. Police went to Walmart searching for murder suspect Shania Jones. They see her and even try to grab her, but Jones then takes off running. Jones eventually falls and officers handcuff her. There's a police cruiser already parked outside the Walmart tire department. Officers also stopped a man trying to leave through the front door of the store. They identified him as Walter Robinson Jr.
Get on the ground. On the ground. On the ground now. Right now. On your belly. On your belly. Hands me on your back.
Robinson swears he didn't do anything wrong.
Why are you running?
Because she was running. They were chasing her.
Who's chasing who? So you just start running?
Yeah, that's not how that works.
That's not how it works, buddy.
Cleveland detectives believe Jones was part of a shooting over the summer that left one man dead and another wounded. Police say Jones and Robinson had been at that Walmart multiple times, staring down an employee who was a relative of one of their victims. Jones is now facing charges for murder and felony assault. Both she and Robinson are also indicted for stalking and obstruction.
So I think it's pretty clear from watching After Hours, as I know everyone does every single week, the world isn't always the safest place. It's important to realize if you're ever seriously hurt, your injury could actually be worth millions. That's where Morgan & Morgan, a proud sponsor of After Hours, comes in. Morgan & Morgan doesn't just settle for lowball offers. In the past couple months, they've seen verdicts of $12 million in Florida, $26 million in Philadelphia, and $6.8 million in New York. And here's the kicker, the fee is absolutely free unless you win. You can start your claim with America's largest injury law firm in just a single click on your phone. They've completely modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your phone. You don't even have to leave your couch to do so. So to start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan, go to www.forthepeople.com/afterhours or click the link in the description and in the pinned comments.
Next, we're inside a Walmart store in Marin County, Florida. It's Wednesday, March 30th, 2022, just before 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Drop the knife now! Drop it now! Drop the knife!
Police responded to reports that this woman, Brandy McCown, was threatening other customers in the store with a knife.
Get back. Back up. Drop the knife now!
McCown seems to believe that law enforcement has somehow harmed her loved ones.
Drop the knife. Drop it now. Put it down.
Backup arrives and you can see McCown look toward a female deputy who was standing behind a sales rack. While McGowan is momentarily distracted, the first deputy switches from his gun to a non-lethal stun gun. After repeated orders to drop her weapon, the deputy fires the stun gun at McCown and she goes down.
So you're all kidnapping me?
According to investigators, McCown had approached the store holding a brick and threatened customers with it. Then she found a pocket knife for sale and used a pair of scissors she found in the store to open the packaging. She then allegedly began threatening customers with the knife. After her arrest, investigators say they discovered she had ingested large amounts of meth earlier that day. Police charged McGowan with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. A court determined she wasn't mentally fit to stand trial, so she was taken to a mental health institution. Now we're back in the Atlanta area in Georgia, where two mothers inside a Walmart got into an argument and ended up throwing crayons. It's October 26, 2023. On security video from inside the store, you can see Brittany George walking around with a cart with her two children inside. Another woman who was not identified allegedly told George that her children were being unruly. The women argued but then separated. Later in the video, when George spots the other woman again, she throws a box of crayons at her, hitting the other woman's child. A Walmart employee attempts to intervene, but things escalate, with George lunging at the woman and allegedly hitting her in the face. George drove away before police got there, but they were able to identify her and arrest her. George was charged with child cruelty and simple assault. At the time of this recording, her court case is listed as pending. Now we go to the Peachtree City, Georgia. Body camera footage shows police inside a Walmart store after a teenager allegedly started a fire.
Police department, everybody out!
It happened on August 24th, 2022. Officers worked their way through the building to make sure no one was left inside.
10-4, you can evacuate all neighboring areas. It's a very large fire that cannot be put out.
Officials say a 14-year-old girl admitted to intentionally starting the fire in the paper products aisle. It took 9 hours for emergency crews to put out the flames, which caused extensive damage to the building. The teenager was charged with first-degree arson and sentenced to juvenile court. Because she's a minor, her name has not been released. We end today's episode in Deltona, Florida. It's September 14th, 2022, around 7:30 p.m. Police were called out to a Walmart store because employees and customers spotted two little kids running around the parking lot in the rain.
The kids ran out of the vehicle and they're half naked.
Which vehicle?
This one right here.
Looks like you got him dressed. Awesome.
We got the children's clothes.
Okay.
I tried to check on him, ask him if he needed medical attention. He's drooling out of his mouth. Eyes rolling in the back of his head.
Yeah, I'm in contact. Start!
The man appears to be unconscious in the front seat and the engine's running.
Hey, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Hey! What are you doing?
Sorry.
Step out!
What happened?
Step out!
He seems confused when the officer asks him repeatedly about the children that were with him.
Where are your kids at? You got some kids? No? They're not his kids? Who else you have in the car with you? Who else was in the car with you?
Yeah. What happened?
Who else is in the car with you?
That girl.
Okay. And her kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the girl at?
Kids in there?
They have the kids, yep.
Those kids in there?
No, the kids are not in your car. They got out of your car.
Deputies say the man, 35-year-old Dazone Killenback, was supposed to be watching the children for his friend while she shopped. Instead, the toddlers ages 2 and 3 were found in the busy parking lot.
They went with Walmart staff after they ran in the parking lot in nothing but a diaper. While you were sleeping at the steering wheel, right? So for now, put your hands behind your back.
Deputies say Killingbeck had a straw in his lap when he woke up that was later tested and had oxycodone and fentanyl inside. Killingbeck was charged with child neglect, possession of drug paraphernalia, tampering with evidence, and driving on a suspended license. He pleaded no contest and was given 2 years of probation. Thanks for watching. Law and Crime After Hours is written and produced by Savannah Williamson, video editing is done by Michael Deininger, and audio editing by Brad Mabey. I'm Sam Goldberg. We'll see you next week.
To arrest this man, but he hasn't stolen or evaded anyone. He just has a very questionable ride.
That thing looks way too much like a police vehicle. Listen, when I saw it, you thought, hey, who's this guy? Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's supposed to do, though. Let me turn the lights on. I got more than you got.
Yeah, man, there's no gun.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a regular shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
It is around noon on May 10th, 2025, and Walton County Sheriff's deputies are about to pull over this Ford Explorer after securing an arrest warrant for its driver, 61-year-old James Pearson.
98 pulling in there regular.
Sorry, 350.
500 Kilo November, 500 Kilo November.
Get back! Stop!
18 white
Stop!
Ford police vehicle.
Step out of the car where I can see you! Hands in the air! Step out! Hands in the air!
1040, 1033.
Walk backwards towards the sound of my voice. Keep walking. Keep walking until I tell you to stop. Keep walking. Stop. Get down on your knees. Get down on your knees. Hands behind your back. Cuff him.
What's going on? All right, hold on. I got that egg.
I'm gonna help you stand up.
Thank you.
You ready?
All right.
Okay, good. You got anything?
No.
Coming over to you, Sark.
All right, step out. Face in front of the car.
Face in front of the car.
Coming in at 1033.
The sound of my voice.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep
Okay,
walking. Careful of that curb. Stop right there. Right now you're just being detained, sir, okay?
Okay. What's going on?
Sit right here on the curb for me.
Okay.
Are you Mr. Pearson?
Yeah.
All right, sit down. You got a warrant.
Why?
Sit down.
Okay. Can I get home and get my tax and
No,
stuff in?
we'll talk about it in a second,
Yeah,
okay?
what's going on?
Just stand right there, okay?
And while James's car looks like a police squad vehicle, he is not a deputy. The reason for this arrest started 3 days earlier on May 7th in another part of Walton County near Santa Rosa Beach in Florida.
Was that connected to yet?
Papa 625.
This is our contact to James Pearson subject. He's valid, Class A, 1023 on 2949.
26.
They come back through registry?
Yeah.
You're good? I did? Okay. That thing looks way too much like a police vehicle. It's got Santa Rosa Beach Police on the side of it.
Definitely.
Hey, where are you based out of?
About a year. I used to be a I used to sell you guys firearms, the AR-15s and stuff back in Johnson.
Way too much.
Yeah, it's supposed to. It's supposed
to the point that I think you're right there at the line. To be honest.
I mean, that's my. I mean,
I know. I got.
That's
I got,
on my
I got
on my building.
No.
I mean, I'd like you to come by some right here if you don't mind.
Do me a favor. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you this stuff back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some pictures of this real quick so I can make a note of this.
Yeah, please.
Across the board in our system, because listen, when I saw it,
you thought, hey, who's this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
100%.
That's what it's supposed to do, though. Everywhere I go, everybody says, hey, what is that? The police, Santa Rosa Beach Police Department?
Yeah, that's too
I go, no, read. It's
No, I get that.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Let me turn the lights on. I got more than you got. It's for a purpose, so you could say,
I understand that. I just think it needs to be more clearly defined that this is a private entity and not a
police
vehicle. The only way I can tell that is that I stood right there. Wiley Willoughby is our procurement person.
Yeah, I left a message with him already, but he didn't call me back.
Go ahead and follow up with him.
Don't put me up. Hey, listen, I'm building a emergency management van for right there, right now, and I was going to come by when I'm done with it and let you see it, so y'all can see what my capabilities are.
Okay. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. You have a good one too.
I didn't until I got right up next to him.
So
until I read inside. So it says supply on there. I didn't see it. I get what he's doing selling it, but that's too much.
Having police on there just in by itself.
Yeah. It's one of those until I got beside him and saw the police spot, and I saw it, but I wanted to know who he was. I wanted to identify him.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's super and that says Santa Rosa Supply.
First, Too much.
Too close.
Too much.
Especially when you have police on the mat.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna charge him right here today. I'm gonna send him a letter telling him he needs to take that thing down once.
Yeah, that's way too. I haven't even seen that vehicle.
I hadn't either, and I was pulled beside him, and I saw the badge that said Santa Rosa Beach Police.
And lights. No.
Oh, listen, he's got a holster without the Glock on it in there. I mean, it's computers, the whole nine. It's a marked out police vehicle.
Yes, sir.
And I said, you got a gun on you? He goes, no. I said, but the gun's missing out of that holster right there. You got a gun on you?
Yeah.
No. So, he's got a business license for sure. That is way too much.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to put him in jail right on the side of the road with this, but I'm fixing to deal with this. So.
It seems that James has not only ignored this warning letter from the authorities, but has also continued to drive the fully marked fake squad around the city under the excuse of his business.
Nothing in the back that I can see. Front's clear. Yeah.
You probably gonna have a gun in here, okay?
Yep.
Gun probably should have ammo in the back.
You want to pop
where
the
the guns at?
Yeah.
Ask me where the guns at.
Where's your guns at? At home.
So all the ammo in here, no gun?
Hey, I live 2 minutes from here. I just run up there and grab a part before they close. We're working on the boat in the front yard.
I just see ammunition.
I know. I'm explaining why there's no gun. I just jumped in the car to run up here to get a part.
All right, let me explain something to you.
Yeah. Back it up.
Vehicle's clear. You can cancel traffic. Tell me there's no gun.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at a shotgun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's been in there forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. There's a shotgun locked up in the rack. Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. My handgun, you were asking me about. Yes, there's a shotgun. It won't be chambered or anything. And this is up. Please tell me what's going on.
441 Central.
Today, literally like an hour or two ago, I was made aware that you got a warrant.
Why?
I don't know what the warrant's about. So we've been looking for you. As soon as we seen you
I
come
was
through.
at the house.
I'd already seen you earlier, but
I went to look at a boat, and then I came back down here.
All right, I got
God,
you.
This is embarrassing, man.
the warrant,
It's for what, my car?
I don't know.
This gentleman right over here, your friend, has a warrant for his arrest for police impersonation and falsely displaying stuff on a vehicle. So
That's his business.
I know it's his business, but the way it's displayed is a violation of Florida state statute.
Oh, did you just get pulled over?
Yeah, from Atkinson 2 or 3 days ago.
The sheriff pulled you
Yes,
over?
actual
Okay.
sheriff.
What happened?
No, he pulled me over and he said, who are you? And I told him, gave him my card and everything, because I have the police supply. And I said, hey, I've been wanting you deputies have been coming out to the shop there, and I've been showing you my car and doing, to try to get, you guys knowing who I am and get business from you.
This isn't James's first encounter with the law. In the past, he's been accused of keeping firearms and law enforcement badges from deputies. But despite this warrant, James believes he has the perfect explanation for driving the car.
Can I please stand up? My ankles hurt.
I'll let you stand up, all right? You run from me, I'm going to take you back down,
No,
okay?
man, I ain't like that.
Let me help you up.
Yes, please. I can't do it on my own.
I've even seen your car before,
Yeah.
like before I was a cop, right? What do you do?
I police supply. My cards are in there. I don't have anything. My cards are in there. I'm building a van for a emergency management. How long have you been on?
This is my 4th day.
Okay. I used to have my police supply on Goldsby Road for 10 plus years.
Yeah,
And I
Goldsby,
sold,
down that way.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
sold you guys weapons and stuff in the past. I closed it because I'm also a general contractor.
Okay.
And it was really busy at the time. I couldn't do both. So I did that. And now that I'm retired from that because I'm hurting, from the surgery and stuff, I went ahead and opened my police supply business up. And I'm trying to get your business. And this is let me see it and you're going to do it. I'm not pretending to be a police officer. Yeah, right there. You have the ID. And I sent an email to Atkinson Friday. Yeah, it was just me saying, hey, about the traffic stop. I thought you knew who I was. And I'm glad that we got to meet. I want to come meet with you in person. Or I said, but I prefer if you would come out to the shop.
Yeah,
so
you
we
paid
could,
him down already?
So we could see what
I'm gonna just stick this in his pocket.
All right.
That money stuff.
So we can see what we're doing and get my business. You know what I'm saying?
You actually were supplying police supplies?
Yes.
Like what kind of police
Leather
supplies?
gear, duty gear,
Leather
belts, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Badges. The business cards are here. Can you get my wallet out?
Yeah, sure. I believe that your business is called Police Supply. I already looked it up.
Sales in.
Yeah, I already looked all
Right.
that up.
All right,
Here,
then-
I don't dig in there. I'll do it.
Well, there's a card in there.
So this vehicle
Upfitting.
here, like you just
That's my demo unit.
demo. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I don't know
I
what's
believe-
going
I
on
believe-
because
I believe you. Just
when
relax,
the officer,
relax.
I am. When the officer came over to do the VIN verification, I said, "Come on, I want you to check out the vehicle." I got more lights than you got, so I'm not sure who I pissed off or why. I'm not.
You don't owe me an explanation. I'm not the case officer, but hey, just hang tight.
I'm embarrassed. This is embarrassing.
Don't be embarrassed.
Dude, why not? This is embarrassing. I'm a businessman.
I got you.
I'm out here with no shirt on and nothing because we had to run. They closed at noon.
He can leave if he wants to.
This gentleman free to leave?
Yeah, he's free to leave.
What are we doing with his partner?
He's free to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the warrant?
It's for some kind of fraudulent impersonation and another.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that. I'm not impersonating anybody. I'm going to win that 100%.
You are under arrest. The warrant has been confirmed, okay?
Yep. Hey, what about my car? You can't drive the car home? Huh?
No, because the car is one of the charges.
Ken, I need my phone to get bail and stuff. Is it in there?
Go ahead.
But I might have left it at the house. Can we put these in the front? I'm not at risk.
No, the policy states it's got to be in the back. Even if you were 90 years old, and there's no discretion on it whatsoever, okay?
Yeah. I mean, I can bail out, right? Today?
I believe these are going to be felony charges. You're going to have to look at it. You're going to have to see a judge, okay? I haven't seen the warrant, but I believe one of them is a felony charge.
The deputy is absolutely right about one thing, though. The car itself is the charge, and as they test its features, they can't help but be amused by just how closely it mirrors an actual squad car.
Yeah, we're just going to take the ammunition out.
Take the ammunition and the shotgun out.
Jesus Christ.
I just want to make sure we got all that inside, because to me that's evidence of impersonation. You know, you got radar, you got gun in a rack like we have, you got a radio in the back seat, computer stand with a computer. I'm like, come on, you got police on the side of your car. In God we trust, law enforcement. I love it, man. You got everything but credentials, right?
Yeah.
A badge-style insignia reading Santa Rosa Beach Police was clearly visible on both sides of the vehicle, along with the word police printed across the side and rear panels. The SUV also had a light bar, rear window emergency lights, and a spotlight mounted on the A-pillar, making it nearly indistinguishable from a real patrol unit.
We're going to take the ammo and the shotgun.
My other thing is check the siren too. Check the lights, see what color they are. Yep. Yep. Keys in the seat. That's just keys in the seat. That's good. Hey, check it out. Wow, and a siren.
Oh, there goes the bags.
Can I speak to my partner?
In just a minute.
All right. I've been driving that vehicle for a year now. You guys have been to my house. I show you the vehicle. I show you my shop. I'm trying to get you guys to come do business with me. I don't understand why all of a sudden I'm impersonating a police officer or whatever.
Give us 1 second. We'll get this all taken care of, then we'll get you up there, okay?
Yeah. Hey, Ken! Hey, Ken! Hey, Ken! Ken! Damn it.
We're securing the shotgun and the ammo. That's the only thing coming out?
It's all just going safekeeping. He can get it back, though.
Okay. We got to list all the police equipment that's on the inventory. There's a lot of high-value stuff in here.
Yeah.
It's real?
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
Nothing in the pipe, some in the tube. I'm going to go grab that pistol ammo.
If you want to go through, tell me what things are, I'll scribe it, that way we have it written.
Thank you.
So right
I took a phone, but I did take the phone from the car.
Sweet, so we have his phone?
Yep.
What is that? Weapon case?
CYTAC for a Glock 19. Then you got a paddle holster dual mag case.
Ouch.
Is your shoulder hurting you?
Yeah, very bad. It's okay.
Yeah, then you're going to have some more mobility. Then
Yeah.
You can just pivot in.
I will. Oh, God, help me. Jesus, that feels better. I asked him, and he said no, because he's, by the rules, can you not put him in the front?
No.
Okay, all right.
So it's a policy thing. We can get in trouble for it.
I understand.
Ultimately, James was charged with misdemeanor, operating with intent to mislead official agency vehicle, and he was released on a $25,000 surety bond while his court case is ongoing. Want to step up your style? Check out CodeBlueCam.com for hoodies, tees, hats, mugs, and more. Whether you're watching...
Hello, Sheriff's Department. Hi. So there's been some allegations against you, so I need you to step outside so we can chat about it.
This is newly released body camera video that shows us the moments that police arrest a 5th grade teacher for alleged sexual molestation of multiple young girls who he taught. This is an image per KCPQ TV. Jordan Roy Henderson is the teacher's name. I will note that he's also a licensed foster parent and he was a pastor. This is video of him being led to a police cruiser. You can see he was still in his bathrobe. We have dozens of pages of court documents detailing what he allegedly did to the young girls for years before they came forward. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Let's get to this new information we have in a case that involves a former 5th grade teacher who is also a licensed foster parent, a pastor, and a biological parent. He is accused of sexually molesting young girls for years. This is video from King TV in Seattle of Jordan Henderson at a court appearance last year.
So we're gonna walk up to the blue car out here, and then we'll chat a bit.
This is the body cam video that law enforcement just released to us of the moment that he was arrested in February of last year. The girls who came forward, according to deputies, were first 3 students who were in his 5th grade class. They say that Jordan Henderson had been inappropriately touching them, and not just that year. They say the alleged abuse happened for years, going back to when the girls were in the 4th grade. Now, before we show you what Jordan Henderson said to deputies when he was put in the back of that cruiser, I want to show you specifically what he is accused of according to the dozens of pages of court documents that we just received. The documents show that in February 2024, 2 girls came into a local sheriff's office and they said, quote, "Mr. H has been touching me inappropriately." Court records detail the interviews that law enforcement had with girls who were in Henderson's class, including a girl saying that Henderson put girls on his lap when he read to the class. Another student talks about a time that they were sitting next to Henderson working on a reading assignment when he allegedly put his arm around her and then put his hand high up on her leg. But these allegations, they get even more serious. One girl says that she allegedly saw the 5th grade teacher put his hand on the girl's leg, and she heard him whisper to a classmate, quote, "Keep things quiet," and that what was happening was between them. Then there's this one. A girl says that Henderson came up from behind her, gave her a hug, and forced his front against her. She said she could feel his, quote, "boy part." All of these allegations led to deputies eventually arresting Jordan Henderson, and here's the body cam video from that morning.
County 317, you on this one? County 317, type 1, you're taking.
Kids are up.
Okay. Sorry.
Hello. Hello, Sheriff's Department.
Hi.
So there's been some allegations against you, so I need you to step outside so we can chat about it.
Sure. Would you mind if I get dressed?
I'd prefer you just throw some shoes on. We can chat outside real quick, and then we can figure that out in a bit.
Okay. Totally understand. Just a second, let me put my dog away.
Hang on, I need to come with you. Just
okay.
So, if you don't mind.
Sure. That's fine. I'll just slip out.
Okay. Yep, that works.
Excuse me.
So we're gonna walk up to the blue car out here, and then we'll chat a bit. Yeah. Okay. So my partner's gonna knock. They'll talk to her. They'll get her and the kids squared away. We'll probably just have them sit in the car and then we'll do that. So let's walk out to the blue car right here.
After you. We'll hook him up after he talks. We'll put him in the car. We'll hook him up after he talks. Okay. And we'll put him in the car.
Absolutely. I know the road's not as you're not wrong.
I'm gonna just park that down real quick.
Just grab my bag, sorry.
You're good.
Have a seat, please. Thank you. And then I'm not being creepy. I'm just sitting behind you because I have nowhere else to sit.
This is another law and crime legal alert. If you were given a Depo-Provera birth control shot and you were later diagnosed with a brain or a spinal tumor called meningioma, you may be eligible for a lawsuit. Morgan & Morgan is investigating claims that patients were not properly warned about the risk. It is free to check, takes just a few minutes, and you don't pay unless they win. So scan the QR code on your screen, or you can click the link in the description. Also go to forthepeople.com/LCDepo to see if you qualify.
So, kind of a way line here. So first I'm gonna advise you your rights, and then if you're willing, we can chat about what's going on. Okay. Just so you know, you are being audio and video recorded. Both have body cams on.
No worries. That's fine. Thank you.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right at this time to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions, or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
No, I have a lawyer and retainer in that regard, and I would like to contact him.
Okay. Do you have a phone number for him?
It's Hester Law Group. I do have a phone number. So I don't have anything on me.
Okay. All right, Josh. Yep. So you are going to be on the red. There, or if you want, we can get the phone number out of your phone.
I'd like to, I could do the phone number in that regard.
Okay. So you're going to step out with my partner. He's going to put you in handcuffs.
It's fine.
You want to face the car, please? I know he's patted you down. I'm going to put your hands behind your back. I'm going to put you in handcuffs, and I'm going to pat you down again. And we don't have much on. It's okay. I'm going to have you sitting in my partner's car over here in a second once I get you in handcuffs. And we'll get you going as soon as we can. Got to get your transport down there. And we'll go from there. We'll. You want a number, you said, on your phone? Or a couple? Yeah, that's fine. We can go with that stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Just bear with us. I know probably not what you want to do this morning, but
no, not at all.
Oh, this guy.
My wife.
Oh, geez, no, you're fine.
Oh, it's fine. Is the phone number in your phone?
It's in my phone.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll bring it out and then we'll chat about it.
All right. Thank you.
You can see that Henderson seemed somewhat calm as officers read him his rights, and you heard him say that he has a law firm on retainer and that he was not going to say anything more to police. There's another piece of this court document that frankly was chilling to read. Henderson allegedly told a female victim that if she told anybody about the, quote, stuff that was happening, he would come to her house and find her and where she lived. Henderson was arrested in April. He faced 9 charges of child molestation. That was in 2024. As of today in 2025, he is facing a total of 12 charges. Local media reports that a 4th alleged victim came forward accusing Henderson of abuse. This is a picture per KOMO TV in Seattle. Initially, Henderson was released on a $100,000 bond. He was able to post that the day of his arrest. This video, once again, from King TV. But in May 2024, he was arrested again for allegedly violating the conditions of his parole because he allegedly hosted a gathering at his house where children were present. His no contact order had stated that he could only have contact with his own kids. A judge boosted his bond to $750,000. We found court records that show that he was able to post that with a bail bond. He is now awaiting trial. Henderson was also in a leadership position at a local church where his father was reportedly the lead pastor. Look at this screenshot from KOMO TV. This is a post by the church standing by the teacher in the wake of his arrest saying, quote, while some would have you focus on alarm bells and your greatest fears about what you do not know, I want to encourage you with confidence based on what I do know. I know Jordan to be the highest character and quality as a man. He is a great husband, a great father, a great teacher. He and his family have the full confidence and support of our church. Please join us in asking God reveal the full and complete truth regarding these allegations. Again, that's a screenshot from a local TV station, because if you try to find that post today, you won't find it. It is no longer public, or it's been deleted. Henderson has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. Initially, Henderson was slated for a February trial here in 2025, but court records show his jury trial is expected in July. Joining us now to talk about this case is former sex crimes prosecutor who now investigates cases of sexual misconduct in schools, Dan Shore. Dan, always good to have you on Law and Crime, even when it is for cases that are just as disturbing as this one that's playing out in Washington State. I want to start first. We both looked through the dozens of pages of documents and you see what these students came forward with to the authorities. What about the allegations stands out to you?
Well, I investigate a lot of cases of this type of misconduct with schools. I was also a sex crimes prosecutor for a while. I prosecuted these types of cases. And the theme that I continually see in this case and other cases is a violation of trust, that people trust a teacher to be someone who's supportive and caring for students. People tell their children, listen to your teacher, do what your teacher tells you. And then when a teacher violates that trust and takes advantage of them, especially here in a sexual way, that is extremely hurtful, not just in the short term, but the long-term effects of that I've seen last years and years and sometimes a whole lifetime. So this kind of conduct is extremely dangerous and very disturbing.
Yeah, these girls younger than the age of 12. What stood out to me, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it, is there were, of the stories that the girls came forward with to the authorities, like there were cases where he was hugging a student. And I look at that, certainly crosses the line. That's something that teachers in this day and age, it's not something that's seen as appropriate, but that might be a one-off that could just happen. But then eventually gets to a point where his hand is allegedly on a girl's lap and he's telling her, hey, keep this between us. I mean, how does the progression, it seems like it would be a progression. How does that typically go where it gets to that point where things have gone to a place that's far beyond what would be considered inappropriate?
Sure. Well, in these types of cases, you hardly ever see someone allegedly just start touching someone in an intimate area. Almost always there's boundary probing. You mentioned hugs, that type of conduct. Sometimes in other cases, I've seen hand holding. But usually there's an escalation, and the person who's doing this sexual abuse is seeing, what can I get away with? What am I being pushed back at about? And that's why when I train schools on looking for these issues, I think it's really important to pay attention to those issues, because sometimes people will say, oh, it's just a hug, that's innocent. But those are the types of boundary blurring behavior and boundary probing that often leads to sexual abuse. And it's important for people to flag those in an institution, or if they see a colleague doing that, or if you're a parent and you see that happening, that really a lot of caution flags should go up at that time, because those are the precursors to sexual abuse in many cases. You hardly ever just see someone just come out and start touching someone in a sexual way.
And I wonder too, because this had gone on allegedly since the girls were in the 4th grade, and apparently he had taught 4th grade as well, and then he was a 5th grade teacher when these allegations came forward and he was arrested. We'll talk about the body cam in just a moment, but I just wonder in these cases, how does someone not know? How does another teacher not see what so many girls in the class were seeing?
It's hard to know in this specific case because we don't have all the details, but in similar cases, I think there are a few things. One is people tend to trust their colleagues, and they often think the best of intentions when they see a hug or some other conduct that they think might be on the line. And often you don't want to be the one to report it and say there might be sexual abuse, because then there's a fear of retaliation. There's a fear that you're going to get someone who's a trusted colleague in trouble. And a lot of people, unfortunately, not just in educational institutions, but elsewhere, feel I just want to do my job, not get in trouble, not rock the boat, and go home to my family. So one of the things I cover in a lot of my trainings with schools and other organizations is you need to encourage a culture where people feel confident in stepping up and saying something that they don't feel they're going to be retaliated against, that if it's in good faith, it's okay if they're wrong, as long as they're reporting it in good faith, and then it can be investigated. And maybe if it's just a hug, then you can talk to that teacher and say, look, that's inappropriate. We understand that at this time, there's no evidence to show that you're committing sex abuse, but we want you to stop having physical contact and hugs with students. So you can draw that line, and then if that line is violated, then the school can start taking other action. But I think it's important for people to step up and say something. And often places, not just schools, but other institutions, don't have a culture where people feel comfortable in doing that and don't feel emboldened to do that.
When you look at the body cam video, obviously it happened in the morning. He's still in his bathrobe. You also hear the officers recognize that there were children in the home. He was a licensed foster parent and also a dad. But what stands out to you about his demeanor and how he handled that situation?
He didn't seem totally shocked that he was being presented with these allegations. And it's hard to read someone's mind, but he was certainly cooperative with law enforcement, but he might have gotten some indication that he was being looked at for these types of allegations. And I mean, that's what I see. And I thought the officers handled it very well. They were respectful. They were clear about why they were there. they took proper safety precautions. He asked if he could go get dressed. He was in a bathrobe, and they said, well, if you do that, they'd prefer he didn't. Anything he did inside, they were going to have to follow him, because officers often face someone going for a weapon or fleeing or something like that. So I thought they handled it really well. And, he did not seem shocked that they were there. I think most of us, if we had officers just show up at our door telling us that they were investigating us and arresting us, we would react in a more surprised way, but I don't want to read too much into that.
Yeah, because there's, from what we understand, from what I read in the court documents, that was really the only interaction it appears that they had with this teacher. And I believe the arrest happened a couple weeks after these girls had come forward, so they did some investigating and then move forward. How often is it that the person you're arresting in these cases, and in this case a teacher, has no idea that there's been an investigation for the last couple of weeks with students who've come forward?
Well, if someone did commit the crime, and obviously he's innocent until proven guilty, but if you did commit these acts, then you probably are going to know what law enforcement's there about, right? If you've been touching students inappropriately and they say then you're not shocked that someone is coming to you about it. If someone has never done that at all, then maybe you're more surprised when you're being confronted about that. But I think this is very common in law enforcement, where they approach someone, they may not question them if the person doesn't agree to be questioned after they read their Miranda rights. And then after that, the lawyers take over, the prosecutor, the defense attorney. And often in those cases, there's some plea negotiation, exchange of evidence, but there's not a discussion with the defendant about what happened, because they have the right to remain silent.
Was it suspicious or notable to you that he had an attorney already on retainer, that he's already paying for an attorney?
It's unusual. I wouldn't say suspicious, because I never want to cast a negative view on someone for having an attorney. People have the right to have an attorney, but it's certainly unusual. I mean, most of us don't have an attorney on retainer for a possible criminal offense. But if this had been investigated for a couple of weeks, maybe he did have some inkling that there were reports about him, and word spreads fast in an organization. And I think it's smart for any individual, whether they're guilty or not, if you find out that you're being investigated for something as serious as this, to quickly get an attorney available. So on a moment's notice, if you are arrested, they can join you and talk to you and protect your rights. So whether or not he committed these acts, certainly the fact that he was being investigated might have been known to him, and then you have to get an attorney.
These girls who came forward, there were 4 people at this point who have come forward, girls under the age of 12, who give this testimony of what happened. From a prosecutor's standpoint, how do you go about with these young people who say they have been through something traumatic? They're probably still trying to come to grips with exactly what happened. And how do you go about handling them as people who may have to be witnesses? This is slated to go to trial this summer, but if they have to be witnesses and take the stand with the teacher in the room.
Yeah, that's really challenging. I've done numerous sex crimes trials where I had young people this age and younger having to testify, and you have to be very delicate about it, because it's going to be very scary for them to go into court. And one thing I used to do is bring them into the courtroom where they're going to testify before the trial, so I could say, look, this is where you're going to sit. This is where I'm going to be. This is where your parents or someone else you trust is going to be sitting. I talk about the court officers who are going to be in court, because a lot of them are afraid that the person who was sexually abusing them is going to be in the room with them. So I point out there are security officers there, court officers there, there's a judge there, that this teacher can't go near you. And I really try to lay that out and have them visualize that. And then you want to talk them through what happened in advance, but you have to be careful. You don't want to do it too much, because just talking about it, reliving it, can be re-traumatizing, especially if someone has to recount it over and over again. So you want to have that delicate balance of making sure they understand what they're in court for and they're prepared with their narrative, but you don't want to prepare overboard where someone sounds rehearsed and you're re-traumatizing them.
What more evidence would you need when you build these types of cases? I mean, clearly you have testimony from girls who, it seemed like they also had witnesses in the classroom who were able to talk about what they saw this teacher allegedly doing. But what other pieces of evidence might you gather to try to make sure it doesn't turn into a he said, she said?
Well, if there is security camera footage that's available, certainly you want to try to pull that. These students may be too young to have electronic communication about it, but when students are a little older, often they are messaging people about what happened, and those messages can be very helpful, especially if they're contemporaneous from the time that they occurred. The witnesses are crucial. The multiple students talking about similar accounts can be what we call cross-corroborative, that multiple people are making similar accounts. That adds to their credibility. The only way that that would not be true if multiple people are saying the same thing is if they came together in some sort of conspiracy to come up with their story, because people aren't going to just randomly come up with the same story separately. So they're either telling the truth or there's some grand conspiracy, and that's very unlikely, especially with children this age, to come together and decide they all want to frame a teacher. What would be the motive for that? So those are some of the issues that I try to address when I'm a prosecutor or investigator.
Reportedly, this teacher, not only a teacher, but was a pastor at a church and was a licensed foster parent. That is all positions of power, typically involving children, along with being a 5th grade teacher. How common is it to see that? Especially the 3 together in someone who's accused of this.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. I think we're at a point in society where we're not shocked that someone commits sex abuse when they're a religious figure. I think there was a time where people thought that a religious figure would be less likely to be involved in sex abuse. We've seen in all religions that does happen. And often people who do want to prey on younger people, prey on children, put themselves in a position of trust where they have access to children. And that's something that's very scary for parents and for children. I think in society, in the movies and TV and books, often the sexual predators are these strangers who come out of the dark, come out of the alley, they snatch someone off a playground. But in reality, most sex abuse that I've seen is from someone who's in a position of trust and then violates that trust. So getting into a position of trust is often a key part of someone who's looking to commit these types of acts, unfortunately.
And then the parents have filed a civil case against the school district, alleging that the district did not do enough to protect the kids. We'll see how the criminal trial plays out. There's obviously a lot of information that we don't know just from the documents we're seeing. But from what we have seen, do parents have a case in situations like this?
They might. A lot of that depends on the details. Was the school aware of what was happening earlier on? They didn't do anything. Or should they have been aware? Were there other members in positions of authority and influence in the school who received reports of, as we talked about before, maybe inappropriate hugging, and maybe that wasn't addressed? So I think those are the types of things that the school is going to have to answer for. And often a school conducts their own investigation to find out why this happened. What can they do differently in the future, whether it's, again, changing the culture so people who see things like this can report it, feel emboldened to report it, know where to report it. I've talked to people when I've done investigations who say, I saw inappropriate hugging, things like that, but I didn't know who to go to about it. So I think sending the message to your institution saying, this is where you go, there'll be no retaliation, we want you in good faith to come forward. So those are the types of issues that can be the basis of a lawsuit if the school didn't act appropriately when they had relevant information.
And Dan, I know that you've investigated these cases, you've prosecuted these types of cases, and it's something that you write about. And you have a book coming out this summer. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So it's my second novel. It's called Open Bar. People can find it on Amazon or anywhere else that books are sold. And it's about sexual abuse at educational institutions of underage students. It's a lot of these issues. And I also write on Substack, a weekly newsletter about these types of issues and how they play out in fiction. So people can check that out.
And then just lastly, and I just think back to, the idea of what a predator looks like in the movies. It's that person that grabs a kid and almost they're sinister from the beginning, of the film. But then in real life, it has these cases where someone had an incredible level of trust. And as a parent, you want to trust your kid's teacher and you want them to have the great relationship with teachers like so many of us did with ours. What do we need to do more as a society so we know what these predators actually look like and we have our guard up, but not in a way where we can't have good relationships with good teachers?
I think it's a lot about training about inappropriate behavior and emboldening people to speak up when they see it or experiencing it, especially with elementary school students. Most elementary school students haven't yet talked about or a lot of them have not talked about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. And I really think at a younger age, we need to start talking to kids about if you're touched in a way that makes you feel bad, you should say something to somebody. Even if you're wrong about what they were doing, you'll never get in trouble because students feel, especially young ones, that they'll get in trouble if they speak up. And also remember, as an elementary school student, it's a confusing time. You don't know how life works. You're told, look to your teacher for guidance. If your teacher says, come on my lap, I'm going to touch you, a lot of students will think, okay, I guess this is something that is appropriate, when it's certainly not. So I would say training, talking to students, talking to kids about being able to report things, being able to talk to their parents or another authority figure about what happened. And then, as I said before, making sure other people in the school speak up, because there's not a certain way that a sex offender looks like. They are often people in positions of trust who know how to violate that trust, and they're not going to be obvious about it until sometimes it's too late.
All right, Dan Shore, always great to have you on Law and Crime. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your perspective.
Well, thanks for talking with me, and I'm glad you're covering this. It's a very important story.
The families of the alleged victims in this case are now suing the school district that Henderson worked for, saying the district did not do enough to protect their children from abuse. For On the Case, presented by Law and Crime, I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.